Hey y'all, today we're going to have a serious conversation about what you can do as part of your cancer treatment, because there is entirely too little information shared about it in a professional setting. People in the medical field are trained to believe certain things, and the way they learn it, they believe it, and it might not 100% be correct. It's up to you as the cancer patient to wade through the swamp of nonsensical BS information that they give you, pick out what to believe and what not to believe, do some research, and actually learn about what you can do. And the first resource that I recommend is books. Books are a wealth of knowledge. Now, I understand that not everybody enjoys reading, and that's okay. That's why they make Audible and other audiobook services, because you can listen to the information. There's also podcasts. The first book that I recommend that anybody with cancer reads is The Metabolic Approach to Cancer by Nasha Winters and Jess Higgins Kelly. This book lays the groundwork of your new understanding of how this disease works and what you can do to really dictate your own outcome. The options are only limited by your ability to change your life. Now, I'm not a doctor and I cannot offer you medical advice, but it makes a whole awful lot of sense the way they lay it out. And that a lot of cancers have a couple characteristics in common. One being that they don't respirate normally, mostly due to the fact that they have an insufficient amount of or damaged mitochondria. These cells cease to respirate and technically should die, but they don't. They revert to some sort of primitive survival mechanism. Cell proliferation is increased. The cells begin to ferment glucose in the cytoplasm, called glycolysis. Read it. I don't know. I remember a lot of things, but how to pronounce that word is not one of them. So, also the mitochondria chip in and assist in fermenting glucose as well. To make ATP, adenine triphosphate, which is like the cellular energy, like currency, I guess you could say. Anything that happens at a cellular level requires ATP to do so. Any work that needs to be done. One of the biggest things is stop eating shitty food. Stop going to McDonald's. Stop eating cured nitrate-containing meats and bacon and lunch meat and all that stuff. Throw all that crap away. Stop eating antibiotic, hormone-laden, mass-produced meats that are available at most of your grocery stores. The same goes for dairy. A lot of this stuff is horrible for you. Sugar. Stay the hell away from sugar. Even if you don't have cancer, sugar is poison. Our bodies are not meant to metabolize sugar. Human beings are meant to be hunter-gatherers. Sugar was not intended to be part of our diet. We're supposed to eat lean meat and fat from animals that we hunted. Eat real food. Don't eat processed food. Nutritional supplements. These things can do wonders for you in controlling your nausea, giving you energy, helping you sleep, even fighting your cancer. So I'm not going to get into all of this quite yet, although I will. Not today, but there's a lot that you can do. Don't get that. That was a mistake. That has biotin in it, which I realized after I bought it, which can encourage tumor growth. But I take 54 different supplements every day, and they all do various different things, from adaptogenic immune boosters different things that inhibit angiogenesis, which is the formation of new blood vessels, which fuels cancer growth and metastases. Antioxidants. I mean, when your liver filters toxins out of your body, sometimes it destabilizes stuff and you have free radicals. And taking a bunch of antioxidants can mitigate the effects of those free radicals. Now, one thing that you might want to think about, though, is the key component of certain types of chemotherapy is that it builds up oxidative stress on tumors and cancer cells. And if you take too many antioxidants, it can actually cut back on the effect of that because the antioxidants are negating the free radicals or canceling them out. You don't want this to happen. So I actually tried to not take vitamins around my treatments, but a couple days before and a couple days after, I do take them. So I have a treatment every week for 3 weeks and then I skip a week. So I'll take vitamins from Friday until Tuesday, but not Wednesday and Thursday. Exercise. Now, this is a double right here. Mini trampoline. This is beneficial for cardio, for your legs, and for lymphatic drainage. And if you have tumors breaking down due to your tumor treatment, chances are they're going to get evacuated from your body through your lymphatic system. So by jumping on a mini trampoline or a full-size trampoline or any kind of zero gravity type thing can boost the performance of your lymphatic system by about 30% based on what I've read. That's very important. Now, not everybody can jump on a trampoline, so you can also do different sorts of yoga poses that assist in lymphatic drainage. There's also dry brushing. There's lots of ways that you can encourage lymphatic drainage even if you're not in good enough shape to jump on a trampoline. Essiac Tea. Essiac Tea is an herbal tea with Native American roots. Essiac Tea became notorious after its use was popularized by a Canadian nurse named Renee Casey. Essiac is Casey spelled backwards, which is rumored to have anti-cancer effects. It's a little bit pricey, it doesn't taste that great, but if it can help, why not give it a shot? I've been drinking this stuff for months. I've noticed no side effects. That is very dark. It honestly can't hurt. Another very important thing, detoxification. Now, a fun way of detoxifying is in an infrared sauna. But not everybody can afford to purchase an infrared sauna, and there are commercially available infrared saunas at spas and gyms, and you just gotta look around. I bought one because I'm stupid and I just love spending all my money. Don't be like me. But it is very nice to wake up in the morning and pop into your sauna and sweat profusely for 30 minutes and then take a shower before you get your day started. I've noticed some improvements in my neuropathy, such things as well, from the infrared sauna. Hopefully it's worth it. Now, a word of warning though, those Amazon saunas look nice and affordable, but they produce a lot of EMF radiation. And basically there's no regulation to saunas, so they can tell you whatever they want, and there's really nothing stopping them from doing so because it's not regulated. I spent the money on a Clearlight jacuzzi brand sauna because it's third-party tested and it's actually within the acceptable limits and it's verified. And I bought it, and then I bought an EMF meter and I verified it for myself because your body is already susceptible to lots of different stuff. It's in a weakened state. If you have cancer, there's no need to be exposed to be damaging your cells and your mitochondria further with EMF radiation. Now, infrared light inside a infrared sauna can actually stimulate your cellular metabolism and has lots of other benefits as well. So it seemed like a no-brainer to me to buy one. It did take me several months of research and deliberation with all that EMF stuff before I finally just bought one. And luckily, it was around the time of Thanksgiving, and they were having a Black Friday sale, and I got about $1,000 off. It still wasn't cheap, but it's better than spending an extra $1,000. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy. To do this at home, you need a hyperbaric chamber, which is a bit pricey. And if you can get a prescription, an oxygen concentrator. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy super oxygenates a lot of tissue in your body that doesn't normally get a lot of oxygen or otherwise is hypoxic. Given the anaerobic characteristics of cancer, it seems like common sense to me to try to super oxygenate my body. And there's a lot of research that suggests that just hyperbaric oxygen treatment alone has anti-cancer effects, which makes a lot of sense. But you're going to read a lot about the ketogenic diet. And a lot of us have done keto before to lose weight. But Keto for Cancer is quite drastically different than casual nutritional keto. There's research that suggests that the ketogenic diet in conjunction with hyperbaric oxygen therapy can be as effective as radiation. Now, I read this in a couple different books and online, and it's very compelling. But once again, I'm a railroad conductor and not a licensed medical professional, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Another thing, grounding. Grounding is really the practice of walking around barefoot outside in the dirt, which completes an electrical circuit between you and the earth and theoretically allows you to exchange electrons with the earth. Now, if you are a chemotherapy patient and you have cold sensitivity, chances are you're not going to want to go walk around outside barefooted all the time. So there's a really cool workaround for that. A grounding sheet, which is a sheet with a grid of silver fibers woven into it, which has an electrical lead connected to it. Don't mind my messy bedroom here. Has an electrical lead connected to it, which you then connect to an outlet whose function you have verified. Well, an outlet which is ground function you have verified, since you will be grounding yourself. I don't advise doing this in an apartment complex or a townhouse or anything with communal electrical distribution. But if you live in a house and you know you have a good ground rod and your outlet tests and it's grounded correctly, what's the harm? So that would work in reducing oxidative stress theoretically, and inflammation. Another thing, go outside, get some sunlight. Sunlight gives you vitamin D. A lot of people don't get enough vitamin D. If you want to take vitamin D, take vitamin D3. It's better. And while we're on the subject of better vitamins to take, methylcobalamin B12 is more readily absorbable than cyanocobalamin B12. The more you know. So a lot of people, when they get a cancer diagnosis, I mean, it's frustrating, it's disappointing. It's certainly not a fun, happy experience. But if you give up, if you listen to everything that the doctors tell you and the nutritionists and the support staff at the hospital, I mean, it blows my mind why they would tell you stuff that is harmful to you, but they do. So it's really up to you to use your common sense and go with your gut. If it seems like they're screwing you over, they probably are. If it seems like they're holding out on you, they probably are. But they just might not know. and it's up to you to learn, because cancer cures are brought to market by pharmaceutical companies. It takes millions of dollars of research to bring a cure from the research level through trials on mice and animals and humans to actually being implemented. And they're only going to put effort into this if they can patent it. Pharmaceutical companies can't patent a diet, so why would they waste their time trying to? They're not going to. And you know who drives these doctors and nutritionists and support staff to provide you with recommendations? Pharmaceutical companies. You know who makes 90% of all the supplies and stuff in hospitals? Pharmaceutical companies. You know who makes Ensure? Abbott, which is a pharmaceutical company. Isn't it kind of funny that anywhere you go, they've got Ensure coupons at the front desk at any chemo clinic, and the nutritionist will tell you, just drink Ensure, get in the calories. That's bullshit. It seems like they just want to sell Ensure for Abbott. Fuck that. Sugar is what cancer desires. Cancer needs glucose or pyruvate to grow. And if you give it that, it's going to grow a hell of a lot faster than if you deny it that. That's where the ketogenic diet comes in, because by consuming tons of fat and less carbs and less protein, because protein's dangerous also, because when it's broken down into amino acids, your liver can turn them into glucose as well. It's called gluconeogenesis. You'll learn about that if you read some of these books. So you don't want to consume a whole lot of protein. I know based on my weight and my metabolism, I'm consuming about 51 grams a day, only about 20 grams of carbs, and up to 460 grams of fat based on my activity level, which is really challenging to try to eat, and I'm still figuring it out, but I do feel an awful lot better, and the logic makes sense to me. And I've been doing it for weeks now, probably over a month. My weight is stable. I feel good. I have a lot more mental clarity, which goes for a lot, because chemo really racks you down on your mental clarity. So any advantage there is definitely welcomed, because I hate being dumb. I like being smart. Throw away all your big brand, mainstream, Pantene, Suave, Degree, Old Spice, all that stuff shit. Throw that all away. Get some natural health and beauty products. Get some natural toothpaste, natural deodorant. Don't put anything on or in your body that's not organic. There is nothing good that can come from that. It's all chemicals. These companies exist to make money, not to look out for your health or safety. I will throw in a bonus. It's not really a treatment-related thing. It's a comfort thing. Sleep is so important. I've read studies that insomnia can actually encourage tumor growth. While we're on the topic, stress can also encourage tumor growth. Excessive protein encourages tumor growth, not only like we talked about with gluconeogenesis, but protein consumption can also increase levels of insulin-like growth factor 1, which encourages tumor growth. But back to comfort. Sleep is very important, and if you have cancer, experience night sweats. Night sweats are disgusting. Night sweats tell me that my body is very toxic and my body is trying to sweat out some of this toxic stuff. It's not fun sweating out 1.5 liters of sweat onto your bed at night and waking up in a puddle of sweat. So I got this thing called a Bedjet. It's a little box that goes under your bed with a fan and a heating element in it that blows temperature controlled air up from your feet across your entire body. So first of all, you've got moving air. Also, real quick, check out this foam wedge. If you have edema, Putting a foam wedge under your sheet is a great way to help your legs drain at night. But the Bedjet it blows moving temperature controlled air past you while you sleep. There's even a turbo setting, which is like a hot tub, which is great if your legs are sore, but it really cuts down on night sweats and really mitigates the whole temperature sensitivity at night factor from your chemo. So it's something to look into if you're sleeping like crap. Now, not everybody is as intelligent, as well read, and has as much common sense as I do. And that's where you got to count on your caretakers and your family members. Hopefully there's somebody close by that wants to help you that's smart enough to do so. If not, you kind of got to do it yourself. But this has gone on long enough, and the real takeaway here is read The Metabolic Approach to Cancer and take notes and read the many other books that are recommended in that book and develop your own level, your own base of knowledge and change your life. You'll hear that the people who make lifestyle changes are the ones that survive. And look at me. I probably spent 4 months listening to the doctors and the nutritionists and eating what I can and drinking Ensure, and I wasn't doing so hot. My liver was swelling up. I had abdominal fluid. They took 2 liters of ascites out of me in September because my liver was doing so bad. I was having temperature sensitivity. I was never comfortable. I couldn't sleep. I mean, I was dying. Now, I did change chemotherapies around the same time frame that I made all these changes, which probably helped. But the massive amounts of sugar and crappy food that I was eating prior to that were not helping. When I started eating all organic food, eating organic food prevents your liver from having to filter out more pesticides and chemicals and toxins. That's very beneficial. Eating grass-fed or free-range meats is also preferable to farm-raised meats because animals that eat what they're intended to eat, much like humans, are a lot healthier and happier and therefore healthier for us to consume than antibiotic, hormone-ridden, miserable animals that are eating wheat and have a bunch of gut inflammation and diseases that are not good. You also may want to not eat gluten. Gluten sensitivity, that will cause gut inflammation and is not good. It's not good for you. Many commercial types of wheat cause gut inflammation. I later found out that I possess the gene that predisposes me to celiac disease, which means it's even more important for me to not have gluten. There are a few types of ancient grain that you can still have, including kamut grain, that either don't contain gluten or contain healthy gluten. Read about it. So that's a step. Eat organic food, grass-fed, free-range meat. You don't have to do the ketogenic diet. It's tough. I mean, there's lots of advantages, but not everybody can do it. Drinking olive oil at night to get in fat calories is not fun. Trust me. There's also fasting. Fasting regenerates your immune system. Fasting can jumpstart you into ketosis, and fasting around your chemo treatments can increase the efficacy of your chemo treatments too. I've read that it's recommended, and I've done it myself a couple times, to fast 24 hours before and 24 hours after your chemo treatment for a total of 48 hours. There's also cannabis-based treatments such as THC and CBD oil or Rick Simpson oil, which have been shown more and more to have cancer-fighting effects and can also mitigate some of the side effects of your chemotherapy treatment like nausea, lack of appetite, poor sleep, and so on and so forth. It's not legal everywhere, but if you try, you might be able to obtain it, and I suggest you do because it's worth trying. So, there's quite a few things to get you started on your contribution to your treatment.
But there's a lot of things you can do to affect your own outcome. There's also the psychological factor. If you decide that you're gonna live, you might live. But if you can decide you're gonna die, you're gonna die. Food for thought. Thanks for watching.